All right, what's up, guys? Let me just tweet out that I'm live here, and then we can get into it. But yeah, if you guys missed it, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I posted my player pool for tonight. Again, it's a short four-game slate, but I do have that up there on my Twitter. What's up, Rhythm Beast? But yeah, let's go over what we know so far, and then again we can get into the prices and questions at the end. So let's scroll back to the beginning of the day here. So Bogdan, he's still listed as a game time decision. Another update just came out. Again, listed him as a game time decision. Hopefully we get that news before lock. Let's see, a lot of this stuff. So Rubio's out once again. Makes Tyler Johnson very much in play as a value guy. Aaron Baines is out. So Saric, Kaminsky, and even a little bit of Cheat Diallo. I think those guys are going to have to play some decent minutes against a team that Denver runs really big. So, yeah, those Phoenix bigs are definitely playable here. Let's see. Jahlil Okafor still listed as questionable. Josh Hart still listed as questionable. Again, Bogdan, game time decision. The big news was R.J. Barrett is ruled out for this game. So that makes Kevin Knox a really solid value play in my opinion. I know it's David Fizdale, but I really think with Knox starting, he probably gets at least 25 or so minutes. And at that price at 3.4K, I think he makes for one of the best value plays of the day. Also, I think DSJ is viable as a GPP option. Maybe he gets a little extra runs. So that's something to note. And then, yeah, again, we still got Bogdan game time decision. Hopefully we get that news soon because that lock is in 30 minutes. Wizard starters, Thomas, Beal, Brown Jr., Hachimura, Bryant. That's pretty normal. But yeah. Oh, also, if you guys are enjoying the stream, would appreciate if you hit that like button. But yeah, let's look at the over-unders and the spreads here for these four games. So Nets-Knicks right now sitting at 214.5 with the Nets favored by 3. Kings-Wizards at 233 with the Wizards favored by 3 points. Suns-Nuggets at 214 with the Nuggets favored by 10.5. And then Pelicans-Clippers at 232.5 with the Clippers favored by 13. So these last couple games, there's definitely some blowout risk. That is something to note. But yeah, let's jump into it. So we'll go team by team here. We'll start with Brooklyn. Brooklyn, for me, it's pretty simple. With no Kyrie, I really like Dinwiddie here at 7.7K. I don't think that price is up there enough. Back-to-back games of blowouts, that's why those minutes were down with 27 and 28 minutes. Would not be too concerned about that. I think in a close game, he plays mid-30s minutes. So, yeah, very much Dinwiddie. I do like him there in the mid-range. Everyone else, honestly, it's kind of a fade for me. Like, Jarrett Allen intrigues me at this price, but they do have DeAndre Jordan that they do like giving minutes to, right? Jarrett Allen's not going to play 35 minutes. So I guess he would be the other net I would consider, but honestly, that's kind of it. Like, I'm not really high on Joe Harris, Taurean Prince, Garrett Temple. I guess you're going to make me pick one of those guys would be Prince because he does have the upside, but he's just very, very up and down. So no one I feel great about, honestly, besides Dinwiddie on this team. The value guys, I don't think we have to go there. I think there's better values with guys like Knox, Tyler Johnson, some of those other bigs. So I just don't think we have to do it. Really, for me, I think it's Dinwiddie, possibly Jarrett Allen, and that's it for the Brooklyn side. On the New York side, so Julius Randle, I do like him a good amount here at 7.1K. It's a really good matchup for these Knicks starters. And I think he would probably be my preferred target over Marcus Morris. Don't hate Marcus Morris either. He does have the upside, but I'm going to lean towards Julius Randle there. I feel a little bit better with him. And with no R.J. Barrett in the lineup too, that's a little bit of usage to go around. So I do like Julius Randle a decent amount there at 7.1K. Don't mind Marcus Morris. I think he's more suited for GPPs. Again, no R.J. Barrett. Mitchell Robinson, I was debating whether or not I wanted to include him in my player pool. I think he's worth a shot for GPPs. Again, this guy's always in foul trouble, and the minutes are all over the place. But I think if he gets like 25 minutes, he could definitely get you there. So I think he's worth a shot for GPPs. Definitely not cash game viable in my opinion. Ntilikina, I don't know if I want to chase that big game. He had 6 steals. Don't think we're going to expect that again. I think I would prefer some other value guys with Kevin Knox here at 3.4K. Again, my best guess is he probably gets at least 25 minutes, but you really never know with Fizdale. there's always a slight risk that he just gets plays like 10 minutes or something like that. But again, I really think he probably will get at least 25 or so. So I think he's one of my favorite value plays there at 3.4K. And I think Dennis Smith Jr. is interesting as well. I think he does get a few extra minutes. We know the upside's there. He's very boom or bust. Right? He's been really bad, but that one game against Dallas, he did put up 32 fantasy points. So I think he's just a GPP option. Again, I think Knox is the cash game play. The other guys like Wayne Ellington, don't think we have to do that, or Dotson. So yeah, I think it's Knox, and Knox as for cash. Dennis Smith Jr. as a GPP dart throw. Bobby Portis I kind of like for GPPs as well. Him and Mitchell Robinson, I think it's close with me. I think I'll slightly lean towards Bobby for a little bit less, but both guys are viable. And then up top, it's Julius Randle for me. So let's move on to Sacramento. This is the big question mark, right? The availability of Bogdanovich, and honestly changes a lot for me. Like, if Bogdan plays, I like him a lot. He's probably one of my favorite plays of the day if he's not going to be limited. If he doesn't play, then like Buddy Hield's going to be the main guy, and then like Corey Joseph would be very viable. You could even look to like Yogi Ferrell or Justin James. So let me check one more time, it might we might not get that until like after lock. Oh, Bogdan will play. Okay, that did come out good. So thank you for tagging me that, Corey. Let me just tweet this out. So my best guess if he's playing, he's not going to be limited. I mean, there is a chance it could limit his minutes, but right now Bogdan, one of my favorite plays. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this is just a great spot here. The line is, 233, so it's a very pace-up spot. Again, my best guess is if he's playing, they're probably not going to limit him. And I think he plays mid-30s minutes in a close game, and it's just a really, really good spot. So the risk with him is the hamstring injury, obviously, right? He could re-aggravate it. So there's a chance he could re-injure himself, but man, if he plays like 35 minutes, I think he could crush. Bogdan, one of my favorite plays there, but it is with some risk, right? So now a guy like Buddy Hield, I'm not super high on. I don't hate him, but I'm going to lean towards Bogdan. He's more the playmaker in this lineup. So I will lean towards Bogdan. If you want to play Buddy, don't hate it. Holmes and Bielitsa are two guys I'm very much considering here in the mid-range. Both will probably play somewhere between 25 to low 30s minutes, and both have upside at their prices. So both Bielitsa and Holmes do like those guys a decent amount here as well. Harrison Barnes is just no upside on him. Like, at least we haven't seen it at all this year, right? He's probably a safe cash game play. Like, probably will get you 25 to 35 fantasy points, but on this short slate, I'm shooting for upside, and I just don't see it right now in Harrison Barnes. Corey Joseph at 4.9K with Bogdan now playing kind of takes a hit to him. I still think he's playable, but again, not my favorite play now. Yogi Ferrell, don't think we have to do that with Bogdan. Same with Justin James. Those guys are kind of out of play now. So really for me, it's Bogdan as one of my favorite plays. But again, know what you're getting into if you play him. There's always a chance he could re-aggravate his hamstring injury. But if he stays healthy and plays those mid-30s minutes, I love him. And then Holmes and Bielitsa in the mid-range there. Don't mind Buddy, but again, I'm going to lean towards Bogdan over him. On the Washington side, so Brad Beal, it's tough because I want to play him, but 10.2K is kind of a lot. I do kind of like the mid-range here on this slate. I think my favorite spend-up is Jokic. So Beal is a guy that maybe more for GPPs just because this price, but we know he can put up like 60 or 70 fantasy points. So yeah, I don't hate Beal, but again, I kind of like the mid-tier, and my favorite spend-up right now is Jokic. So I don't know if I'm going to get to Beal, but I definitely think the upside is still there. Thomas Bryant, again, it's just like him and Mo Wagner. We don't know what the Mets going to be like. They're switching off at closing games, so it's really hard to break down. I think those guys are just like shots for GPPs. Like if Mo Wagner plays mid-20s minutes, I would like him. If Thomas Bryant plays mid-30s minutes, I would like him. But again, I don't think we can necessarily predict that because they're so up and down. So Bryant, Mo Wagner, again, they're just more suited for GPPs. Bertans, you're kind of paying a premium for him. I know he's been really good, but I'll probably look elsewhere. IT, I don't mind here, 4.9K. The minutes a bit up and down, but at this price tag, I think he's viable. And maybe if he's playing well, it pushes like 30 minutes, right? We saw him get 33 minutes when he's playing well there against Boston. So I think IT is an intriguing play. I think he goes a bit lower owned, but at 4.9K, I wouldn't mind taking a shot there as a cheaper option. And that's kind of it. Like Ish Smith's okay on this slate, though. Don't know if I want to do it. Troy Brown, I think there's better value plays. McCray, CJ Miles, again, probably not for me. Maybe one of those bench guys does good, but I think there's better value guys. So really, on the Washington side, it's Beal as a contrarian spend up. And then IT in the mid-range. Not super, super high on everyone else. Again, Mo or Thomas Bryant, one of those guys will have a good game, but your guess is as good as mine as who gets the more minutes. So that's why it's kind of hard to predict. Again, Bertans are kind of paying a premium for him. Hashimura okay at 5K, but again, the Mets kind of down on him. So really for me, it's Beal's contrarian spend up and Isaiah Thomas there, 4.9K. We move on to Phoenix. So Phoenix is pretty simple for me. It's with no Ricky Rubio, it's Devin Booker as a GPP only play, just because of it's a really bad matchup. But if Phoenix doesn't keep this game close, Booker's going to have a big game. He'll probably play like close to 40 minutes. So I think he's just more suited for GPPs, just because of the tough matchup and the potential blowout. Oubre, I get it if you want to go there. He's been really good, right? 43, 39, and 50 fantasy points. In the tough matchup, though, I'm going to lean towards Booker for a bit more. I know, again, Oubre's been really good, but I think you're paying him premium for him, and I don't know if he can keep that level of production up. So I would prefer Booker to Oubre as a GPP play. And then Tyler Johnson is a cheap play. I think he's a pretty solid option here. Played 29 and 31 minutes in back-to-back games. I think he probably starts and gets more of the same again. He's not been shooting well either. 2 of 7, 2 of 10, so maybe he shoots the ball a bit better. He can get you there. So I think he's a pretty solid, cheap option. And then the bigs also, Kaminsky, Saric, and Cheek Diallo. I think Kaminsky would probably be the preferred target here. Again, Denver runs big. Phoenix has been running a lot more small ball. So like Kaminsky, Saric haven't been getting huge minutes, but I think these guys are going to have to play more here against Denver. So I think Kaminsky's solid. I think Saric is a solid option as well. And then Cheek Diallo as like a GPP play. Where's Cheek Diallo? Here at 3.5K, maybe like Kaminsky or Saric get some foul trouble. So those three bigs, I think, are all very much viable. Again, Denver runs big. But that's kind of it. Again, I get it if you want to go Oubre, but I'm probably going to look elsewhere on this slate. So let's move on to Denver. Jokic, probably my favorite spend up here with no Aaron Baines. He's going to be going up against the likes of Kaminsky, Saric, and Cheek Diallo. He should just have his way. If he stays out of foul trouble and the game's close, I think he plays 35 minutes. And I just love the upside still at this price. So he's probably my favorite spend up of the day. The concern with him is he has been getting in foul trouble a decent amount this season and the potential blowout. But again, if neither of those happens, I think he could put up a really big game. Jamal Murray, probably not for me in the slate. Same with Paul Millsap. I think they're okay, but I think there's better options. Will Barton's intriguing at 5.8K, but not my favorite play. Gary Harris has been really, really bad, but at 4.1K, I guess I don't hate him as a value play. And that's really it. Like Grant, Plumlee, probably not for me in the slate. So honestly, it's kind of Jokic, and that's it for me on the Denver side. Now let's get to the last game of the night, and this game is this is where I'm taking a stand on the slate. On small slates for GPPs, I think you got to take a stand, and I'm taking a stand here and completely fading this game. I know the risk. Like if this game stays close, a lot of these guys can crush, but I'm just banking on the Clippers blowing them out here. It is a 13-point spread. The Pelicans are in a back-to-back, so I'm taking a stand, completely fading this game. We'll see how it goes. On the Pelican side, there is some good plays here. I think Ingram and Jrue Holiday as spend-ups. They're only for GPPs, though, because of the tough matchup, right? Kawhi, a good defender. Paul George, a good defender. Pat Beverly, a good defender. The Clippers, in general, a really good defensive team. So that's why I think Ingram and Jrue Holiday are only for GPPs. Like J.J. Redick, not for me. Lonzo's okay here, 5K. If he starts, I would have more interest. Kenneth Williams, I'll pass. Josh Hart, I'll pass. No thank you to Etuan Moore. Melly and Jackson Hayes, I would consider if Jahlil Okafor misses. If Okafor plays, it's probably a stay away from me. So that's kind of it on the Pelican side. Again, it's Ingram and Jrue Holiday as GPP only plays. Kind of the same situation with Booker, right? A tough spot, but if they're going to keep it close, Booker's going to have to have a big game. I think Ingram and Jrue are going to have a big game if the Pelicans keep this close. And then the two bigs, Melly and Hayes, only if Okafor is out. If Okafor plays, I want nothing with those bigs. Finally, the Clippers. So, again, this is a tough spot, or not a tough spot, it's a really good spot, but there's so many mouths to feed and the potential of a blowout. Again, I have no issue with you playing any of these big four here with Harrell, Lou Williams, Paul George, Kawhi. I think my preferred target would be Paul George at 8.5K. But yeah, again, I'm taking a stand. This is a really risky stand, and I'm just hoping for the blowout. That's not saying I'm not telling you guys to do that. That's the way I'm personally building my lineup on this 4-game slate for GPPs only. I'm just banking on the blowout. But Kawhi, Paul George, Lou Williams, Montrez. It's a really good spot, and this game stays close. I think a couple of those guys could crush. Again, I think my favorite play would be Paul George there at 8.5K. Zubac, I think, is intriguing for GPPs, right? He's never going to play more than like 20 minutes, but he can get you like 30 fantasy points in 15 to 20 minutes. So I think he's a viable cheap GPP option. The cheap plays, I don't want to go there. That's kind of it, right? It's those big four, and then Zubac as a GPP only play. But let me check Twitter one more time here, and then we can get to questions. We got about 13 minutes until lock. Someone's asking about Bogdan over Buddy Hield. I'm definitely going to take Bogdan over Buddy Hield. Do we get any more news here? Let's see. Corey Joseph will start. Okay. That Joseph Hield, Barnes, Bielitsa, Holmes. That's pretty normal. So, all right, let's get to some questions here. Is Bogdan limited? I haven't seen anything yet. I'm hoping not. I'm guessing if he's playing, he's probably not going to be limited. But again, there is always concern with him coming back from a hamstring injury. Man, if only Mitch Rob could get decent run. I think Mitch Rob and Bobby Portis are very, very interesting GPP plays because the Nets run big, and this could be a game where Mitch Robinson could crush that price. So I think he's very much in play as a GPP option. I'm all in on Mitch. Yeah, I don't mind that play at all. Again, I probably should have included him in my player pool as a GPP option because I do like his upside. Beal, Jokic, and Cash? No, I would go Jokic over Beal and Cash. I'm kind of feeling Mitch too. Yeah, like I said, that price tag is pretty cheap. Is Mitch Robinson chalky? I don't know. I have heard his name a decent amount around the industry, so I think he could be pretty popular. And if he's going to be like that popular, then that might be where I fade. So PG and Lonzo fine for Cash? Yeah, I think so. Again, PG would be my preferred target. Lonzo at 5K, very viable. So I think Lonzo would get a boost too if he starts. We'll probably not get that news until later. So yeah, I think they're both cash viable for sure. IT or Saric, I can afford both. I'm going to go IT there. I think I like the upside a little bit more in IT. Oubre or Holmes, I have the cash for both. So I think most people would say Oubre, but I'm going to take Holmes. I think you go with your gut there. I think Oubre is probably the safer option right now with how he's been playing. So I think you go with your gut. If you want to go Oubre, no issue with it. I think I would go contrarian and go Holmes, but that's just me. Ish Smith looking real nice. Yeah, I think Ish Smith's viable. He's been playing really well, actually, at 4.6K. 24 and 27 minutes back-to-back games. It's a really good spot. Again, he's been outperforming IT, but I kind of like buying low on guys, so that's why I might go to IT because I think Ish Smith might be more popular. IT will be lower owned, and if IT plays good, we know we can get 30 minutes. So that's kind of my thoughts with that. No issue with Ish Smith. You want to go there. What about Thomas Bryant? It's just him and Mo Wagner. The minutes are so up and down, so I think it's just a GPP play. If Thomas Bryant plays 35 minutes, I really like him, but he's played like low 20s minutes in other games, so it's a riskier play. Dinwiddie, Tyler Johnson, Kevin Knox, Randall, Jokic, Bogdanovich, Holmes, Kaminsky is my lineup. Yeah, that's really, really close to mine, like really close. Jamal Murray seems a bit overlooked. Yeah, I think he will go overlooked in the slate. And we know he has the upside. So I think he is in play for GPPs. I'm going to prefer Jokic, but if you want to go Jamal Murray for a little bit less, don't hate that. Ntilikina or Knox. I'm going to take Knox for the discount. I think Ntilikina might be a little bit more popular after that big game. He did have 6 steals. Don't think we expect that again. So I'll take the cheaper Kevin Knox there. Very similar. So no, yep. Again, I have a really similar line for that as well. What are your GPP plays on DK for tournaments? Well, I guess it's kind of tough since I'm only playing GPPs. So Let's see, what would be a GPP play? I think Bogdan might go a bit lower owned, just because we got that news late, and he's coming back from the hamstring injury. Maybe people think he might be limited, so I guess give me Bogdan. Other guys in my lineup are kind of chalky. I think IT will be a bit lower owned. I don't hate that. That's kind of a tough question to answer. Kaminsky or Rui? I'm going to go Kaminsky there. Michigan Mind's thinking of like LOL, go blue. Of course, man. Hopefully we can beat OSU next week, I pray. Have 4,100 left at guard. Should I play Troy Brown or is there a better play? At 4,100, I think Tyler Johnson was 42, right? So, Troy Brown. My issue with him is just the minutes. I think if you don't have Knox, go him for a little bit less. I guess Gary Harris is okay there, 4.1K. I think I would slightly prefer Gary Harris to Troy Brown just because in a close game, Gary Harris will play 35 minutes. So yeah, give me Gary Harris, but it's close. Who do you have? Who do you got at power forward? I hate Saric and Kaminsky. Yeah, so at power forward right now, I have Randall. But I think Kaminsky and Saric will have to play a bit more. Again, Denver runs big. So, yeah, right now I got Randall in there. I actually don't have any of the Phoenix bigs in my lineup. I'm a little worried about that because I think probably one of those guys will have a decent game. So, yeah, but I got Randall at my power forward spot. Thoughts on Dennis Smith Jr.? I think he's playable for GPPs. I think he maybe gets a little extra run, and we know he has the upside. He's very, very up and down, but at that price, I think he's worth a shot for sure. Saric plus Holmes or Bogdanovich plus IT. So I'm going to go Bogdan and IT there. I really like Bogdan. Again, the one concern is just the hamstring, but I really think he can crush that price tag. So I'm going to go Bogdan and IT. If you're playing cash games, it's probably Saric and Holmes, but I really like the upside there in Bogdan. Let's see. That Dallas Houston was 137 to 123. Wow. Hardaway had a big game. Just looking at the stats here. Damn, Capella went for 21 and 22. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes to lock. Let's take a look at the slate tomorrow. We got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games tomorrow. Wow, so we got a lot to talk about. Go blue. Yeah, man. Hopefully we can beat OSU. We'll see. We're looking pretty good right now. Randall or Holmes, cash? I'm going to go Randall there. I think I like the upside a bit more on Randall. So don't mind Holmes at all, but I would go, I think I'll go Randall there. And you guys playing the showdown slate tonight for NFL? That should be a pretty decent one, too. I'm kind of excited to watch that game. Derrick Henry, oh my lord, what happened? Did he just have like a long run or something? Yeah, he must have. Tennessee 28. Is Lonzo okay? Yeah, I think he's viable for sure. And I think if he starts, he's a pretty solid option. So, yeah, I definitely think Lonzo's viable. Jarrett Allen, GPP, yeah, I think he's worth a GPP shot. He's not going to play huge minutes, but we know the upside is there for him. Let me check on Bogdan and see if we got any more news here. Like any potential limitation. Yeah, so probably not going to give the news on Bogdan if there's going to be a limit. But again, I think it's worth a shot for GPPs. I really like him. 75-yard run. Wow, okay. Offer on FanDuel. Matt Ryan killed me. Julio too. Yes, I actually made an NFL lineup. Didn't do a whole lot of research. That's why I didn't make a video for it. But I stacked the Atlanta Houston or the Atlanta Tampa Bay game. I ran back the Winston Chris Godwin stack, so that kind of saved me. Sarich or Ntilikina? I'm gonna go Sarich. Mikal Bridges or Elliot Kobo or Diallo. Tell me one. Kelly Oubre or Will Barton. Between Bridges, Akobo, and Diallo, I'll go Bridges. And then Kelly Oubre or Will Barton. I think you go Kelly Oubre over Barton. So I know you're playing two Suns there, but with those options, I'll go Bridges between those three and Oubre between Oubre and Barton. Thoughts on this? Dinwiddie, Beal, Knox, Holmes, Mitch, Lonzo, PJ13, Ty Johnson. Yeah, I like that a good amount. I think Beal goes pretty low owned at that price, but I do like his upside. Dinwiddie and Knox will be pretty popular. Holmes, I like him. Mitch Robinson, I think the upside's there. Lonzo, if he starts, I like him a decent amount. PJ13 seems pretty safe, and Ty Johnson, yeah. So that seems like a pretty solid lineup. Core player tonight, I think it's Bogdan. I'm playing GPPs. There's always the chance that he re-aggravates on a hamstring injury, but I think Bogdan's my core play. And then probably, I think it's Bogdan, Jokic, Dinwiddie, and Knox. I think those four is a pretty solid core to go with. Yeah, Jokic, Bogdan, Dinwiddie, and then the cheap option Knox. I think that's a pretty solid core. Booker, possible 50. Yeah. So if, again, I put him as a GPP only play because the potential blowout, it's a bad matchup. But I really think if Phoenix is going to keep that game close, Booker's going to have a big game. You could make that same argument for Kelly Oubre. Again, I'm going to slightly prefer Booker for a bit more. I like the upside in him. But yeah, I think it's possible for sure. Thank you. Yeah, of course, man. Okay, guys, good luck to you all. Sorry if I came off like a dick. When do you come off as a dick? I didn't even see that in the comments. Thanks for the stream, bro. Good luck. Yeah, of course, man. Good luck to you, too. Hopefully we make some money tonight. I talked about if you guys are coming in late, I'm taking a stand here. It's a 4-game slate. I'm taking a stand and fully fading the Clippers Pelicans game and just hoping for a blowout. Not saying you guys should do that. It's a very risky way to go. But if it blows out, I think I could be in for a really good day. So kind of bank on the blowout there. Maybe I'll hedge my bet in the late slate and just stack that game. I think that's probably what I will do actually. Is I'll make a late slate lineup and just fully stack the Clippers Pelicans game. So kind of hedge my bet there. Oh, just a misunderstanding. Okay. GPP thoughts: Dinwiddie, Beal, Bog, Knox, Jarrett Allen, Ty Johnson, Holmes, Kinski. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. And we'll go over some ownership here in a sec. Lock is just around the corner. I'm curious to see what Bogdan's ownership is. I think he might be pretty low owned, and I think that could be the key to the slate tonight. So let's see. We are live. It always takes a little bit to load up. I'm going Dinwiddie, Murray, Knox, PJ13, Hayes, Drew, Oubre, Tyler Johnson. Yes, that's a bit riskier of a lineup. Jamal Murray will be pretty low owned. I think Drew will be pretty low owned. But the upside is there. Lonzo, yeah, so I think Lonzo's a pretty solid play at 5K. If he starts, I would like him a bit more. I think he probably gets 25, maybe a little bit more. So yeah, I think he's very viable. Playing the late game isn't a blowout. Yeah, so that said, I'm probably going to hedge my bet and make a late slate lineup and then just stack that game. But let's take a look at this $44 tournament and look at the ownership. So I got, Bogdan Bogdanovic, 9% owned. All right, boys. I knew he was going to be low owned. And I love the spot here. I know the risk, the potential re-aggravation of the hamstring, but it's such a good spot. Randall, 43%. Dinwiddie, 53%. Knox, 72%. I got IT at 6%. I'll take that at 4.9K, and then I got Bielitsa at 9% owned. So I do have some low-owned guys here. Again, I went with a more risky lineup, more contrarian build, playing like Bielitsa and IT in there. So we'll see how it goes. Let's take a look at the $8 tournament and see what the ownership is. In that one, Bogdan's 11%, IT 8%, Dinwiddie 41%, Randall 30%, Bielitsa 9%, Knox 50%. So again, you saw in the higher dollar tournaments, Dinwiddie and Knox were a lot more popular. I think those guys were pretty solid plays for sure. Got Allen 2%, Holmes 15%. Yeah, there's some pretty low ownership. So just looking at the ownership, it's kind of leading me towards thinking there's going to be a lot of guys pretty popular in that late game, the Pelicans-Clippers game. And again, I took a stand and faded it. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably hedge my bet and stack that game for the late slate. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. So again, it was a short 4-game slate here. Didn't have a whole lot of viewers. It was a small stream, but it is Sunday. So Doncic crushed Harden ass. Yeah, Doncic went off, man. Tim Hardaway went off too. There's a lot of high scores in that game. Dinwiddie 41%, Knox 50%, both what I expected. Yeah, those guys were pretty. I knew they'd be pretty chalky. Ntilikina 76%. Really? 76%. Hold on, let me take a look at other ownership here. What tournament is that in? Okay, wow. Mitchell Robinson is 60% owned in the $44 tournament. 60%. I like his upside, but man, if he's going to be that high owned, I'll take the fade. Buddy Hield 50%. So again, I will take Bogdan at 9% over Buddy at 50% all day. Justin James, people played him at 3%. Don't get that play really. Thomas Bryant 10%. I don't see Ntilikina's ownership. Tyler or Will Barton? Tyler Johnson or Will Barton? Well, Will Barton, they're different prices, so I would take Will Barton. Yeah, Ntilikina only 20% in the $44 tournament that I'm in. Man, looks like my night's going to go with how Mitchell Robinson goes. Just got to hope he gets David Fizdale or gets in foul trouble. Again, I like the upside there, but 60% owned for Mitchell Robinson is pretty surprising, especially in a $44 tournament. Oh, I'm playing on Fan. Okay, gotcha. Marcus Morris 19% FanDuel, $3 buy. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, looks like if Mitchell Robinson goes off, I'll lose. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think I'm going to hop off here, guys. So I will be uploading a video for the NBA slate on Monday later tonight, as well as the Showdown slate for Monday. That's where I will announce the winner to the $20 PayPal giveaway. But thanks again, and I will see you guys tomorrow.